Hello everybody, it's Catherine from Jayne Catherine on Books, and this is the first time we've been able to do some filming outside. Great, nice to get outside again. It's lovely and warm here today, but this is Saturday of the Easter bank holiday, and we tend not to go down to the seafront at all. Bank holiday, you can imagine it's heaving, so we're just having a nice time doing a bit of gardening and reading in the sunshine. Quite surprised how hot it is today. So what I've got today is a review and news and reviews, and I've got a couple of books that I've read recently, a couple of thrillers. They were in my box, if you recall the haul I did ready for March Mystery Madness. I got a box of goodies and didn't manage to read them all, so I'm just continuing on with them now. The first one I'm going to review is The Tattoo Thief. This is by Alison Belsham. This was great. It was thrilling. It was a 5-star read for me, and it's based in Brighton, so on the south coast of the UK, and it seems like people that have got specialist tattoos from distinguished tattoo artists, shall we say, are getting murdered, and the tattoos are being removed for whatever reason, and they start to wonder if they've got a bit of a serial killer on their hands. So we have got, I'm just looking at his name because I always forget, Francis Sullivan, who's the detective inspector, and he makes friends with a tattoo artist, a female tattoo artist that's quite renowned, called Marnie Mullins, and also in the tattoo fraternity, if that's what we could call it, ex-husband Thierry Mullins, who is actually French, which you probably could guess by the name Thierry. I think there's a footballer, Thierry somebody or other. I'm not a big footballer, but yeah, you'll know what I mean. And he sort of asks for her help with the case because it's amongst the tattoo fraternity that is being targeted for these grisly killings. Now it's really grisly. I mean, if you can imagine, it says when Brighton tattooist artist Marnie Mullins discovers a flayed body, newly promoted DI Francis Sullivan needs her help. There's a serial killer at large, slicing tattoos from his victims' bodies while they're still alive. Oh, so you can imagine, so you know, this isn't for you if you don't like dark, if you don't like grisly, if you're a bit squeamish, and I don't like the thought of doing that. In all the years of being nursing, it's still sort of, there's still bits in here where I think, oh my goodness me. So if that really disturbs you, you don't like the dark and gritty, then I think this, you know, this isn't the one for you. I've not read anything by Alison Belsham before, and fantastic. I loved the plot. I loved the ways that Francis tries to work out what's happening, tries to work out who the perpetrator is. I like all the characters, good and bad, so we've got some really well fleshed characters. Excuse me, got an itch. I always have an itch when I'm filming outside. It's having my eye on my nose, have you noticed? And you go down so many twists and turns, and yeah, I didn't see the ending coming. I didn't, I got my thoughts on somebody completely wrong. So that's the essence of a good thriller writer for me. And very well written, kept me engaged. I didn't want to put it down. I'm going to be looking out for some more by this artist. I'm not sure if there's any more advertised in. Sometimes they have them advertised, don't they, in the front or the back of their next book or whatever. She wrote a novel called Domino in 2009, which won the prestigious Adventures in Fiction mentoring scheme. And this was her first crime novel in 2016. and yeah, she won something at the Scotland Crime Festival. So the sun's out, and that's I'm just looking over there. Nelson gone barking. We've got a big field at the back of us. He thinks he's in charge of it. No dog may pass without Nelson's seal of approval. The next one that I want to review is by Gilly Macmillan, Odd Child Out, and this is another thriller. Very good, another very good thriller. Two best friends, one terrible event. So we've got Abdi and Noah. Now Noah is trying to think where they live. This is in Bristol as well. I'd forgotten that they were both in Bristol, so there's a bit of a link there. It could be duos, couldn't it? So they live in Bristol. They're teenagers. Noah and Abdi are best friends. Now Abdi is from Somalia, so he came over to the UK as a refugee and settled in Bristol, and nobody really wanted to make friends with him, because I think it's, you know, there's still a bit of a stigma about refugees settling in this country, which I think is a shame. I think if only people realised what they've been through to get here, some of these. Anyway, Noah moves school, so he's the new kid as well, so they become firm best friends. They do everything together. Bit of a problem in this, in that Noah has cancer, and he's having chemotherapy and all sorts of treatments. So within this we have got themes of teenage cancer, of you know, treatments, what it's like for the parents, what it's like for Noah himself suffering, and how he misses so much school. We've got the issues obviously of race and refugees settling in this country. Happens to me every time, doesn't it? Have you noticed? If you've been with me a few years, you'll know. Every time I come out to do some filming, if it's not the birds, if it's not the dogs, if it's not cars going past with the radio blaring, it's something. We hardly ever hear. It's a right quiet road. It's not a main road. Oh, now we've got ambulances. Oh, anyway, I'm going to carry on because there'll always be something. They go off on a bit of an adventure. They decide that Noah decides he wants to go on an adventure because, you know, he's got this illness. He doesn't have many opportunities where he feels up to going and having normal teenage adventures, and off they go in the middle of the night. They sneak off, and there's an accident. Noah falls into a river nearby, and from then on Marnie can no longer talk. It's the trauma of it has stopped him from talking. So this is really the adventure of these two lads. And we've got then DCI, one of the DCIs in the area, Jim Clemo, and he's been tasked with trying to find out what's going on. There's something perhaps a bit suspicious happened because Abdul can't talk anymore. No, not Abdul, Abdi, sorry. Cannot talk from what he's seen. And so he needs to get to the bottom of what's happened. It's very emotional, it's very raw. I have to say I cried out loud at the end. Gilly Macmillan is you know, a renowned author. She's got plenty of books out, and I got a set of 3 of part of a deal, so I'll be reading much more from her. I gave it 4 stars. There was just a little, it was more like a 4.5. There was just a little bit of something missing that wasn't quite a 5-star, even though emotionally it did get me here. There were emotional moments in there. Not quite a 5-star read for me, but still really cracking thriller. So there's 2 that I've read recently. The Tattoo Thief and The Odd Child Out. So have a look out for those, they're really good. So for news, I just want to mention that there's a new tag being created by Melanie from Mel's Bookland Adventures. She's created a new original tag, so if you want to go over to her channel and have a look at the original tag and see if you want to have a go at that. So that's nice. It makes a change to get a new original tag for us to all have a go at if we want to. A couple of Booktuber shout outs. I've got quite a few coming up over the next few videos. I've found quite a few new Booktubers that have joined the gang, so that'll be nice to give them a shout out and spread a little bit of love. So the first one I want to mention who I found is Brittany from the Bookish Fiasco, and I'll put the link down below. She's got just over 800 subscribers, so she's roughly on a par with where I'm at. So yeah, all the love that you can send her way. We want to try and get to 1,000 subscribers, all us small booktubers, because we don't get we're not recognised by the YouTube powers that be unless we get there. So yeah, it'd be nice to try and help Brittany on her way. And then the other one that I'm really enjoying, and she's got over 2,000, so she's sort of more of a middle level booktuber, but it's Call Me After Coffee. So I'll leave the links down for Brittany the Bookish Fiasco and Call Me After Coffee. I can't think of the name, I'm sorry, it's gone, but I'll put it in the links down below. So the news there for a new tag and a couple of booktubers. Now finally, I have to find the right page where I've written it down. There's a couple of books I want to give a mention that are trending at the moment on Goodreads this month. We've got The Huntress by Quinn. So if you like historical excuse me, historical fiction, then give that a look out. The Huntress, Quinn. Martha Kelly, if you remember from The Lilac Girls, fantastic 5-star read for me, lovely book set in World War II. Well, her next book, The Lost Roses, is out now, and this is featuring Caroline's mother, one of the 3 girls in Lilac, the Lilac Girls, and it's like a prequel in a way, because this goes back before World War II, featuring Caroline's mother, so I'm definitely going to be looking out for that. And then finally, The Silent Patient by Michaelides. I hope that's the right way to say that, Michaelides, and that seems to be doing the rounds on BookTube just lately. I've noticed the past week or so there's a few people that have read that, and it looks a bit like a psychological thriller, and not probably, if you think about what I've just been saying about The Odd Child Out, that there's some trauma, and he doesn't speak after this traumatic event. From what I can gather, the wife has been in some sort of traumatic incident, and from then on she can't speak either, so look out for those. I certainly got them on my radar, see if I can find them in any way in the library, or eventually they'll be in the charity shops after people have read them. So let me know what you're doing this Easter holidays, if you're reading anything special, or you think there's something that I'd like to read, and have a lovely day. Bye for now.